Hi, I'm Derek Stanford, State Representative for the 1st District, and we're going to do a little tour of the district today. The 1st District has a range of areas from urban to rural. Out on the eastern side of the district, we have Maltby and other unincorporated areas of Snohomish County. And it's really nice to have that transition sort of area in the district and that diversity. It makes it a unique place. We're going to start here at the bridge at Bothell Landing, a very iconic bridge here in Bothell. It's even part of the city logo. And at the park over here, there's a collection of historic buildings from Bothell's history. The Burke-Gilman Trail comes through here. You can ride it all the way down to Seattle, and it's a wonderful scenic route for people on bikes or pedestrians. It's a lot of fun. So here in Bothell, we're moving forward into the future. We've got the park at Bothell Landing with historical buildings, and right across the street, we've got development going on for the new downtown. This is partially funded by capital budget money. This is going to modernize the road system here to take out some problem intersections. We'll have a more efficient system for driving through, and we'll also have a more walkable downtown. With the new development, it'll be mixed use with residential and retail. So we'll have density, which works better for transit, and a nice, friendly, thriving community. We've already got a lot of businesses coming in here and very interested. Other cities are also seeing this as a bright spot in the economy right now. The tools that we've used to make this happen are things that are interesting to other cities in the area as well. They'd like to do this sort of thing too. We're here on Bothell Main Street in the heart of downtown Bothell. This is a really kind of a historic district. A lot of these buildings have been here for quite a while. This building was built in 1927, used to be the town's general store where Patty Murray worked when she was young, and now it's Alexa's Cafe. We're here on the University of Washington Bothell campus in the middle of a large wetlands area. And also the UW Bothell is co-located with Cascadia Community College. And I wanted to ask a current student here about the wetlands and about student life here on campus.
Well, the wetlands are half of our campus essentially. They are the biggest wetland restoration areas in the Pacific Northwest. We're very proud of it. It's a great place for our environmental studies students because we can do hands-on research here, and it shows the growth of this campus. This area was swampland originally, and now it is at the level it was 100 years ago, and with salmon certified and everything, so it's a great area for our campus and our students.
And the student life experience here at University of Washington Bothell?
Well, I'll speak on behalf of my student life experience. It has been tremendous and very, very fun, a lot of stuff going on. There's always something to do. There's plenty of opportunities for student jobs on campus. There's also a bunch of different events going on all the time. We have a campus events board. Their job is to plan events. On top of that, over 40 different clubs and organizations that plan events for all of our students. There's rec teams, sports, pretty much anything that students could want, we have it here, or they can get it.
So University of Washington Bothell is home to a number of high-demand programs, including nursing and business, and they're actually bursting at the seams. They're over-enrolled right now, and I wanted to ask how that impacts the students, especially with things like lab space.
Well, we have very limited lab space. I'm a biology student right now, and I can definitely tell you that our lab space is limited. Our equipment needs to be updated. As far as science goes, we really need help with that. We really need some funding with that. And we got the biology program in last year, so since then it has grown tremendously and I'm pretty darn sure will continue to grow. So our lab space, our just science programs in general, are really in need of funding.
So tell me a little bit more about the student body here.
All right, well, we have one of the most diverse, if not we actually are the most diverse campus in the state, which is awesome as a student here, because I remember my first day of class and I had students from different backgrounds, different age groups, students that were in their 40s and 50s, and as an 18-year-old student, it was kind of totally shocking for me because I didn't expect that, but it gives you a completely different perspective on your education, on what you're learning, on life really, because you could, whatever subject we're talking about, we have so many different perspectives to talk about it, or students that are from different backgrounds talking about it. So I love it. I love it. It's great.
Excellent. I'm here in the North Creek Forest in Bothell with Dr. David Bain, and wanted to ask a few questions about what's going on here with the forest.
Okay. What we're trying to do is buy up 64 acres and convert it into a park, large recreational area in Bothell where people could go on, say, a 3-mile hike on soft ground without going back over the same spot again. The second thing we're trying to do is create an educational area where we've got 7,500 North Shore School District students plus the University of Washington Bothell and Cascadia Community College students all within walking distance. And they can come in here and learn about the trees and the birds and some of the other wildlife like beavers and coyotes. And then the third thing we're trying to do is preserve the water quality in North Creek. And North Creek is a spawning stream for Chinook salmon, which are not only on the endangered species list in their own right, but they're also food for our endangered killer whales. And this forest provides water for it over the summer, and it also provides a lot of filtration. If this area were developed, instead of being converted into a park, we'd have a lot of silt, and the water in North Creek would get warmer and drier, and that would be harder on the salmon.
I've been working in the state legislature to try to help preserve this area, and how are things going with the prospect for actually converting this area to a park?
We're moving along quite well. We've raised money from the King County Conservation Futures Program, the Snohomish County Conservation Futures Program, and the state legislature has pitched in some money, and we're about to apply for some federal funds as well. And we've got enough money so far to buy up about 2/3 of the forest, and our future fundraising efforts will be going after the other third.
Excellent. When you see the big chicken, you know you're at Bothell Country Village. There are about 40 stores and restaurants here. It's a great place for families and kids, and it's a thriving small business community, a real gem here in Bothell. Bothell Country Village is also home to the Bothell Farmers Market, a bunch of vendors both locally and all over the region. It's a great place for fresh organic produce. You can talk to the farmer who harvested your food, and a lot of arts and crafts as well. Thriving pretty well these days. This is the Mountain Lake Terrace Transit Center. It has a park and ride, direct access to Sound Transit buses down on the freeway, and this will be the future connection of light rail into Snohomish County. It was funded in part by the state legislature and also Sound Transit and some federal funding. They all came together to build this. The freeway station just opened a few months ago, and it's already seeing a lot of use. The city of Mountain Lake Terrace is planning to increase some development around here. That's a good idea because it puts density around transit facilities so that people can more easily get to work. This place makes it much easier to get down into downtown Seattle or up to Everett. So we're here at Lake Ballinger. This is a 103-acre park, and this area was formerly owned by R.A. Ballinger, who was mayor of Seattle at one point. He named the lake for his father. We've got a little bit more work to do cleaning up the lake. We passed a couple of bills last session to cut down the phosphorus content, and that should help with the algae, and also to cut down on the coal tar contaminants, which mainly come from pavement sealants. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the First District. We've seen some historical landmarks, thriving small businesses, and some great parks. The First District is a great place to live and work, and I'm honored to represent it in the Washington State Legislature.